So this is really a workshop about the different types of snares and really just to try and help with the decision-making process. And as we've heard nowadays, the snaring that we do, the vast majority is going to be cold snaring, just because cold snares are just so safe and associated with very few complications. And I've got the Boston Captivator cold snare here, but the Diagmed Exacto snare is another excellent alternative. And really what characterises a good cold snare is their very fine cutting wire. So these things are, the filament is tiny, and they just cheese wire through the polyps. So that's a cold snare, and with set ulcerated polyps as demonstrated by Rosa, with flat, very flat sessile adenomas, they're perfect. If it gets too exophytic, then it can be more difficult. Then we have the option of a snare that does both. It's both a hot snare and a cold snare, and the snare that we've been demonstrating today, this is a Diagmed coin tip snare. And like all snares, it's got a very prominent little spoke on the end of the snare, and that allows you to pivot the snare, which gives you more control. And what's really nice about this snare is it's actually 3 snares in one. So you have a 6mm snare, mostly for cold snaring, and then it goes up to a 10mm one, again, potentially for cold snaring. And then you get the full Monty version, which is a 20mm snare, which you can use for hot snaring. And this is perfect when you know you're going to be coming across a mix of lesions. You've had a CTC, there's 5 different polyps, all of different sizes, and actually you can use a snare that moves across the polyp ranges.